Hello everybody, today we're looking at setting up a LabQuest. So this is basically just a handheld computer system for collecting scientific data, and it's a touchscreen. So all you have to do to work it is you can touch any of the buttons on the screen, and well, it operates basically just like a computer. If you're like me and have a terrible case of banana fingers and can't hit small buttons like are on this, if you look up in the top, this right here is a stylus that pops out, and you can use that to manipulate the screen. And you can see these buttons at the top are just menus that you can use to control whatever you need to control. So the first thing we're going to do is look at how to set up a sensor with the LabQuest. And here I have a temperature probe. So this end right here, whatever you put it in contact with, it measures the temperature of that. And we're going to connect this to the LabQuest. Notice it has a plug down here at the end. Let me see if I can get this closer to the camera. That looks kind of like this. These get plugged into these ports along the top and along the side of the LabQuest. Now here's where it gets real tricky, and I'm not sure why they did it this way, but stuff happens. These plug-ins have to match up a certain way. Here you see these metal ends right there. In order for the sensor to work, those metal ends have to be in contact with the metal ends inside these. Now if you'll notice, if I put them in like this, those metal sides would connect. But on this side, that's trickier than you think. You can see these little metal bars inside there. Here, if I were to try and match up the metal with the metal, it would have to go this way, but notice the plug doesn't fit in there. Now the real danger is that you could force it in there and make it work, except that would not be good for either the LabQuest or the probe. So you have to look at each sensor and decide whether it goes into the digital inputs on the side or the channels on the top. For this temperature probe, it plugs in right at the top, just like that. And you can see immediately that the LabQuest has started doing some work. And I'm going to zoom in now so we can kind of see what's going on here a little bit better. So here we have the probe is measuring temperature, and so we can see right now it's a temperature of 23.7 degrees Celsius. If we want to change that, you can click on the sensor menu, and then you'll see a spot that says change units, and then you'll select what instrument you want to change. So for the temperature, and I can collect in Celsius, Fahrenheit, or Kelvin. So let's choose Fahrenheit because I feel like you guys probably have a better idea of what Fahrenheit means. So right now, this is measuring a temperature of 74.7, somewhere in there, 74.5, we'd say, degrees in the room. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this thermometer in my hand, and what you'll see is that the LabQuest is actually picking up the fact that it's getting warmer because it's in my hand. And just as with an alcohol thermometer, you have to wait until the thermometer gets to the same temperature as whatever you're measuring. So in this case, you'd have to wait until the thermometer stops going up in temperature and reaches the same temperature, and you'll be able to see that because the number will stop changing on that. Well, I believe that's about all you need as far as setting up sensors. You don't have to do any extra work other than plug it in. Once you plug it in, the LabQuest will recognize what it is. Again, if you want to change the units, you can click on the sensor menu and go to change units, and then pick which instrument and pick what units you want. I'll set it to Kelvin because, hey, we're scientists. We want to measure things in Kelvin. All right, I think that should get you started.